Welcome back to a very, very important session today with, as usual, my friend, eloquent speaker, and having a very global exposure in United Nations, Mr. Kannan. Today, we are going to talk to you about some latest trends that are happening throughout the world, about a world leader. So, welcome, Mr. Kannan.
Thank you, Ganesh. It's a pleasure seeing you
Yeah.
again, and I look forward to today's discussion.
Thank you very much. I think today we will go ahead with about Trump.
I wish you and I can
Yes.
fathom what is in his mind.
Yes. Trump has become the talk of the world.
He's an exceptional individual in every sense of the word, because the world had never seen anybody like Trump before. And I would highly doubt if they would see anybody
In future
the
also.
future like Trump. He's a maverick. A maverick is an understatement. The only thing consistent about President Trump is the fact that he is an inconsistent man. So he's consistently inconsistent.
Consistently.
Will absolutely. He'll speak tall. He speaks with bombast. He boasts. He says
Doesn't care also.
He doesn't. The good thing about him is that most of what he thinks is articulated. He is very outspoken. So there's nothing there for you and me to guess. Most. I don't say that he tells you everything that comes to his mind.
Is he impulsive person?
To a certain extent, yes, but he's also, I think, pretty careful, because look at what he did with Iran recently. He actually, on his Truth Social, he threatened to intervene if the Iran regime were to suppress the revolt, if they were to show high-handedness, etc.
Killings.
Absolutely. And at one time, he said if the executions that were slated on a particular person and a few others, I think, were to be carried out, he will intervene.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he backtracked, saying the executions have been stopped, and he is convinced, he's heard it from very reliable quarters. And so he backtracked. And he has given a fresh lease of life for this regime.
Yes.
Because initially when the protests began, I mean, this gentleman, Ayatollah Khamenei, has been in power for 37 years. He had seen a lot of turbulence in his 37-year rule, because Iran has been under economic sanctions for a very long time. Very difficult American sanctions for a very long time.
Yes.
On UN sanctions for a very long time. And some of those sanctions remain because of their nuclear ambition,
Correct.
although they say that their nuclear quest is towards civilian use. So I actually thought, when this revolt began, that this was the beginning of the end of the regime. This time they will fall. This is what I thought.
Many of us.
We believed so. Because Khamenei is 86 years old. I'm not even sure that he knows what is happening on the ground. He probably is in an ivory tower. I'm not so sure that he is aware of everything that transpires in his country.
I see.
Because I don't know how much access people have to him and how much he is involved in day-to-day running of the country. Maybe the most difficult, the most grave decisions, the most serious decisions are left to him. But the day-to-day running is probably done by there is a prime minister. They have a prime ministerial system. They have the Revolutionary Guards. They have an administrative structure which carries on day-to-day administration. This is the 86-year-old Ayatollah who gives you grand guidance, okay, who steers the course of the nation's foreign policy. And so far, that foreign policy has actually lessened the quality of life, lowered the quality of life for Iranians. There are no jobs. The oil cannot be sold in open market. India used to buy oil, but after the first Trump administration breathed down our neck, we stopped buying oil. We don't buy oil anymore from Iran. It was one of our largest suppliers of oil.
We'll go back to Trump.
Sure. So Trump went back. So I thought that this was going to be all his Truth Social posts were presaging an attack. an attack that probably he may have reconsidered after the bombing of the B-2. The B-2 bombers bombed the nuclear facilities.
Nuclear facilities.
There is this talk that the work was incomplete. Although he claimed that they absolutely obliterated the nuclear capabilities of Iran, my feeling is from international analysts that they have siphoned off about 400 kilograms of uranium.
In advance.
Yes, which they had, which they couldn't account for extra. And the inspections from the International Atomic Energy Agency are also not that comprehensive anymore, because the Iranians, I think, have restrictions on these visits.
It is not obligatory on the part of Iran to oblige IAEA.
It is obligatory because they are members of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. They can leave the treaty and then there will be no obligation. And there's nothing stopping them from leaving the treaty, like North Korea. Like North Korea did. North Korea left. So there is no way that IAEA can say
no accountability, nothing.
Exactly. So you can leave. It's a freewheeling club.
Okay.
You join on a voluntary basis.
Okay.
All right. We are not signatories to the NPT.
Okay.
India is not. So we are under no obligation actually
to show
but we, in good faith, allow IAEA inspections to a limited degree. Okay. So going back to Trump, this is a man who talks tall and then walks back, and without any sense of regret, embarrassment, any sense of discomfort.
Taking back his own word, nothing bothers him.
Not at all.
He's on to the next job.
Exactly. So yesterday at Davos, where he spoke, and there was only standing room for people. There were 1,000 people listening to him. And even heads of governments were turned away. There was no room. There was people were jostling to get there and then to listen to him.
What is going to tell now?
This is the greatest show on town. This is the greatest show on town. So the man, what did he say? He said he doesn't want to use force on Greenland. He doesn't wish to. He won't have to, and he will not.
Oh.
So he backtracked.
He emphasized so much.
Yes, he said he will not use it. He doesn't want to, and he won't have to. But he also said negotiations on Greenland should begin immediately.
Immediately.
Because America needs Greenland for its safety and security, and for Greenland's own safety and security, because if America doesn't take it over, the Russians and the Chinese would gobble up Greenland at some point in time.
So threat will be on the doors of America.
The Danes were not there when he gave the speech. They were not there. And he referred to Greenland as Iceland 4 times in his speech. Iceland is a different country.
Yeah.
So he referred to Greenland as Iceland and that place with ice. So that is how he describes. I mean, he's a non-traditional political persona.
Totally.
He's a different animal. He's a sort of a unicorn. You have never seen a person like this before or after.
Of this.
But I wanted to tell you, what is his desire about acquiring Greenland? Okay. You see, today's America that you and I see is a huge mass of land. We are about, probably we are 3 million square kilometers, India. America is almost 2.5 to 3 times as big as that, as big as us. Okay, it's one of the largest land masses. Russia is the biggest country, and I think the second is probably Canada, and then the third is probably America, and then the fourth is China, probably. So we are the 7th largest country. Over the course of the years, in its 350-year history, America has had added territory. In 1802, Thomas Jefferson, the president Thomas Jefferson, the 4th president, I think, bought Louisiana, from the French. He bought it for $15 million. And America doubled in size. Until then, America was very small. It did not have Texas. It did not have California. It did not have Oregon. It didn't have Nevada. It didn't have New Mexico. It didn't have Arizona. It did not have many of the southern states that southwestern states that you think makes America today. So after Thomas Jefferson in 1848, the president called James Polk, he added all this Oregon, Nevada, California, etc. after a war with the Mexicans. The war took place, I think,
these
for 3
places
years.
belong to Mexicans. at that
Absolutely.
time. Oh.
They belong to Mexico. That
So
explains
what
why.
Mexico size is today
No,
is not
Mexico.
what it was.
Mexico would have been the size of America,
Okay.
and America would have been the size of today's Mexico. But history, and therefore geography,
Okay.
was completely overturned by James Polk after the defeat of the Mexicans. He took these as compensation.
Oh.
So they ceded ground. So this was added then. So Louisiana brought in 8,027,000 square miles to America.
Okay. It's big.
James Polk added another million. Then Alaska was bought. Alaska was bought for $7.5 million from the Russians.
Russian sold that time it was
Russians,
this
yes. It
type
was
of
bought
communist
yes.
Russia? Or
It was the Tsarist Russia, I
Tsarist
think.
Russia.
It was not. It was before then.
Okay.
It was before the 1917 October Revolution. So that
So
was also
Alaska
purchased.
was originally not US.
No, not at all. Alaska is so close to Russia,
Russia only.
geographically, as you see. So, and then when that purchase was made, many Americans said, "Why are we wasting so much money on a barren piece of ice, a land filled with ice?" That is the impression that many people have of Greenland today. But Greenland is a huge mass. You know how big Greenland is?
So they are after something only.
He's after real estate. It's a big real estate. And then in the last of the presidents, McKinley added Guam and Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Okay, this is how today's America came into being.
So not Trump. Predecessors also had been expansionist.
But that was 200 years ago. That was
So
that
long
was
gap.
150 years ago. Man was not this
developed.
enlightened, So it was not there was no international order. The might was right. So that is why you saw Italy, Mussolini
Correct.
walking into Ethiopia, Abyssinia, taken over. That is why you saw Tojo's Japan walking into China, Manchuria, and taken over
Yes.
Manchuria. So we don't live in those times.
Okay.
We think it is wrong to do that.
changed
So
a
when
lot.
Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, we said it was wrong.
Correct.
Every country denounced it. And so today, a number of countries denounce Russia. We have said everything should be resolved through talks because we don't want to say anything harsh on Russia because it's a friendly country. But do you think the
But
Indians...
I wish to know, did Russia also expand like this?
I'm not so sure.
No,
It's a
not
good
like
question.
what
No,
see of
the Russians
USA?
also expanded. They before the Second World War, Stalin overran Poland. He had a secret treaty with Hitler.
And,
The
peace deal.
Stalinists cooperated with Hitler for a few years.
Acha.
Okay, it's a dark spot. He gobbled up Poland, and the Germans had their own designs. Afterwards, the Germans, the Nazis decided to take over even Russia, which is when they failed because they had bitten more than they could chew.
Okay.
And General Winter had set in. So they fell.
Okay.
So they turned against each other, and then the Russians came to the side of the Allies, taking on the Germans.
Okay.
But before then, they were friends.
So anytime the enemies become friends globally,
They do.
just like our Indian politicians do.
There are no permanent enemies
Permanent
and
enemies.
permanent friends in international affairs.
Trump is no exception.
Trump is no
He's
exception.
only a
And-
recent person.
Yeah, and also President Truman wanted to buy Greenland for $100 million worth of physical gold in 1946.
$100 million.
Worth of physical gold.
Gold.
He wanted to exchange gold for it.
To
But the
Denmark.
to Denmark. But the deal didn't come through. But he left it. But our friend Trump says that he wants to by hook or crook, he will take over for his own safety. That is the difficulty. But he has walked back on his words yesterday, saying we will talk about it, etc. But what is there to talk? What kind of a compromise could the Europeans come up with? Could Denmark come up with? Could the
You
Greenlanders
can ask
come up
more
with?
money, not your decision to sell.
There are people who believe that the Finnish president, for instance, believes that this issue will water down, will dilute, will fizzle out, and Trump will not be so keen on acquiring this property. There'll be a middle ground found.
Middle ground found.
So for all his bombast, for all his tall talk, Trump is also at one point appears to be reasonable. He said the markets crashed when he said he will take over Greenland. And he said, Americans have already paid a lot of money for it. He said that in yesterday's speech.
Yes, he made that statement.
Yes. So I was responding to your question, is he an impetuous man?
Yes,
is
impulsive
he a man?
personality.
Impulsive. And he appears to be impulsive, but he is also very patient. Look at how long he had been negotiating on Gaza. He had been negotiating for a long, long time, 10 months.
Yes.
He sent his personal envoy, Steve Witkoff, several times. And then he added his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, when he thought it was right to strike a deal.
Okay.
And he forced Netanyahu's hands and made him come to, and this was after 2 years. 2 years after Gaza has been turned into rubble.
And handling Netanyahu is also not
an easy thing. Who else can do it? Can the UN do it?
Yes.
Can any other country do it?
Definitely
So for
not.
all his, so this is what makes the man attractive to his constituents.
Okay.
This is a man who can get things done, who can deliver, who has, in a daring raid brought Maduro to the American shores.
The world was...
But there is precedent. George Bush Sr. did the same with Panama's president, Manuel Noriega.
Trump presidency has brought any economical benefits for America from the situation they were before he took.
He claims their lives have greatly improved. He says that prices are in check. He says that the productivity and the tax revenues have increased. The tariffs have brought in a lot of money into the US. But
the migrants...
the migrants have been deported. A number of them, illegal immigrants, have been deported.
At least
Look, it's a double-edged sword because these migrants also do, most of these migrants also do jobs that the Americans are not willing to do. It's exactly like Tamil Nadu, where you have a number of migrant workers.
Yes.
Your electrician, your plumber, your carpenter happens to be from the north.
Hotels cannot survive today without migrant laborers.
There are northeastern migrant Indians who are here.
Yeah.
I'm told, according to the 2011 census, we have 35 lakh immigrant workers.
But personally, I think it is too low.
Perhaps more. It's a 2011 census. And so when the next census happens, I would suspect there are probably about 50 lakhs immigrant workers at least. Tripur is completely dependent on them.
It's more.
The hotel industry is completely dependent on them. You go to the third tier towns in Tamil Nadu, you see...
Another 10 lakh is welcome also, sir.
Sure.
Our economy will grow. Tamil Nadu economy will go.
I'm very much like you, Ganesh. I'm also happy with this change because 50, 60 years ago, we were the migrants going over to other states, doing these jobs. We went to Mumbai. We went to other places. Today, we have become that prosperous where we
Going to Mumbai was a big thing for people from villages.
Absolutely. But look, I mean, you remember Varadaraja Mudaliar, after whom Nayagan movie is fashioned. He was one of the early migrants to Mumbai to make a living, and he made a big living. And many of the slums in Mumbai were infested
and he gave protection to the Tamilians too.
Were filled with South Indians.
So, coming back to Trump, so you are convinced that he has definitely done something beneficial to the economy?
No, we don't know. I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that Trump claims that he has changed their lives. The data is very, very
Not at calm.
sparse, because it's been a very short period of time. He's been there in power for a year, but he has completely turned international order upside down. That much I can tell you. You don't see the UN. The UN
Yes.
should be the chief peace broker, right? Peacemaker. You see Trump doing that.
Yes.
So the Trump has become
And
the UN
he is
Secretary
talking
General.
about some parallel organization.
You're absolutely right. I'm glad that you mentioned it. It's called the Board of Peace. Okay, he came up. Let's go back to Gaza to find out how this Board of Peace came about and how what people think about it. In fact, I'm doing an op-ed for the weekend Deccan Herald on it, and I will share it with you and your readers
yes.
later.
You share with our viewers if,
Absolutely.
At the right time.
Absolutely. So, October 7th, 2023, the Hamas attacks on Israel, the raid happened.
Yes.
After that, the Israeli retribution happened. In the raid, about 2,000 people were killed.
Horrible.
I think. Yeah. And then there were more than 200 people were taken as hostages. And the number of hostages, except for one, the remains of one hostage, everybody has been returned now, thanks to Trump. So Trump announced a ceasefire.
Why that one?
They haven't found the remains yet. He's
remains
no more.
of the
remains.
one. Okay.
Yeah, they haven't found.
Unaccounted one.
Correct.
Okay.
So that is yet to be delivered. Other than that, every remains of all the dead have been returned, and then all surviving hostages, living hostages, about 24, I think, were also returned. So October 10th, 2025, Trump, exactly 2 years later, Trump announced a ceasefire. In the meantime, you know how many people have been killed according to the Palestinian side? Almost 70,000 people have been killed on their side.
70,000.
Gaza is a rubble. It has been razed to the ground. The 2.3 million Gazans, most, if not all of them, are homeless. There is no drinking water. There is no running water. There is no electricity. There is no sewage. There is no
So whatever
sewerage.
Hamas did is not worth.
No, it's extremely. The Israeli response has been extremely disproportionate. Extremely disproportionate. But
why should they do a proportionate response?
Well,
Because
I understand.
Whatever
I
they
understand.
started was not a.
No, you should go after Hamas. If you're a combatant, if you're my rival, and you've taken arms against me, I have every right to go after you.
Yes.
But I don't have any right to go after civilians.
True.
Anyway, so going back, and 2 years later, after many failed attempts at ceasefire, Trump
Succeeded.
delivered a ceasefire.
Delivered.
Okay.
True.
And then there was a calibrated peace plan, a 20-point peace plan, where he talks about a de-radicalized, demilitarized Gaza. Okay. Then there are several steps. The Israelis will withdraw to a particular point initially after the hostages and the remains have been handed over. And then they will move to another point extra. In the end, they will still control 15% of Gaza as part of the buffer zone for their own security. So that is the plan. Hamas.
So Trump has accepted that reality also.
He has understood
for the
because
Israelis.
He couldn't push the Israelis beyond that. So and then the Israelis have agreed to that. The Israelis also agreed that the plan could take effect before Hamas could be demilitarized. Hamas still has its arms. It is not willing to lay it down. So this is a very tricky issue. Then after a while, there will be an international stabilization or security force made up of people from Jordan, police from Jordan, army from Jordan, Egypt, other places, Qatar, Azerbaijan, and other Indonesia, to secure the borders. And to perform law and order functions there. But their main function will be to see that the place is demilitarized, which means Hamas should be
no military activity.
Correct. So
militant activity.
This is pitting you in direct confrontation with Hamas. So how that will turn out to be?
Anything about peace and development.
Correct.
That opportunity is provided to them.
And then he talks about reconstruction, then redevelopment.
That's a very sensible thought.
Absolutely. But when you've destroyed everything, you will have to
reconstruct. To but he said we will make it a global.
We'll have to see. We'll have to give it time, and then before we can see, then we will have to do that. So the important thing is it's a very elaborate peace plan, and in the end, it says this might open up the possibility of a roadmap for a Palestinian state.
Okay.
So that it might, it says,
might.
it might.
Okay, because
So
anything in that zone has always been
it's a very complicated
troublesome.
issue. It hasn't been solved for 8
people
decades.
want things to happen in a very good manner for the region itself.
Yes,
some way.
we need to wait to see. But before we go to the Board of Peace, so this is a 20-point plan, and then the Board of Peace is the umbrella body, the administrative supervisory body that will oversee this 20-point peace plan.
Okay.